So thank you, Michelle, so much for being with us today. Michelle comes to us from Rochester University, and thank you for being our user spotlight guest for this month. And I'm going to hand the floor over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Rachel. Thank you so much for having me here. I'm excited to talk about how Accudemia has helped our campus and our center. So as Rachel said, my name is Michelle. I am the coordinator for our academic support and retention at Rochester University. We're located in Rochester Hills, Michigan, so about 25 miles north of Detroit. We're a small private liberal arts school with about 1,100 students, so we're a smaller campus. I oversee all of our academic support and resources on our campus, so that includes our Academic Center for Excellence, which is our academic resource center, tutoring center, where we have we offer in-person tutoring as well as virtual sessions, online paper reviews, study spaces, and things like that. I also oversee our academic coaching program for our conditionally admitted students as well as our athletic study hours program. So a lot of different things, and we're using Accudemia for a lot of different areas, primarily in our ACE lab, which is our academic support center. One of the biggest ways, I mean, we've used Accudemia for quite a few years now, and we really enjoy what we've been using it for. It's really our tracking software for the ACE, so this really helps us keep track of students. All students who come into our space have to swipe in and out for any service they use, so whether they're working with one of our peer tutors, whether they're just studying independently, or if they're printing a paper, this kind of helps us track our usage so we can kind of see what students are using the most, what resources they'd like to see. One of the biggest areas we use is for our athletic study hours program, so all of our athletes have required study time in our space. This just helps keep them on track with their, their assignments, their classes, as well as kind of helps keep their eligibility intact. So we have about 400 student athletes, and so most of them have about 2 or 3 hours a week required by their coach to come and study. So they have to swipe in, and we really use Accudemia a lot to record those hours and track that usage, which really comes into play when we look at retention and just kind of how our athletes at the end of every semester, we compare our athletes to see those who completed those study hours in our space compared to those that didn't. And that really plays a big factor, as a lot of those who completed those study hours have higher GPAs than those that don't, so that having Accudemia to kind of easily track that really helps us a lot, so we're not doing a lot of manual work and signing people in and out and kind of looking to see how many hours people are getting and what they're using it for. One of the features that we just started using in the past year or two, which is I've really enjoyed, is the surveys. So previously, all of our students who complete a tutoring session with one of our peer tutors in the ACE, they complete an evaluation at the end of their tutoring sessions that just kind of ties to our higher learning goals, as well as gives feedback on their tutoring session, what was helpful, what wasn't helpful, how did the tutor help them or didn't help them, things like that. And previously we were using Google Forms, and which is great, but not all of our students filled them out electronically. A lot of them did them by paper forms. That was a lot of work for our front desk staff to kind of manually import that information each semester to track. So when we saw that there were surveys available in Accudemia, that was a really great opportunity. We put in all those questions so that now every time a student swipes out from that tutoring service area, it automatically populates at their sign out screen. Who did you work with today? What was helpful? What was not so helpful? What suggestions do you have for improvement? And so that's been really great and a time saver for our office to be able to have something tracking that we are not manually inputting that. It's a great time saver, as well as being able to run those reports every semester just to see feedback that we're getting from students. So that's been a really key feature that's really been helpful to us. One of the other features that I'm really excited to use, that I haven't started using yet, but I'm really excited to use, is the automated schedule report feature. So every week we run athletic reports on student groups, so we import those groups into Accudemia, and we're able to run those hours for baseball, basketball, bowling, all the different sports. So being able to, rather than manually doing every single sports team, sending that out to coaches every single week, being able to have that automated is something that I'm really excited to set up and try out this semester. So those are just kind of the key areas that we use Accudemia in, and some of the features I'm excited to use as well.
I love that you found that using surveys in academia were so useful for you. I've heard that from a lot of clients where they were using another form and they were like, okay, this is great, but what can we do if we move this all in one system? So
Yes.
I'm really happy that that's been such a success for you, and of course getting the information you need out of the reports. Um, but that was really great. Thank you so much. Did you have anything else you wanted to add or anything like that? I know you've given us a lot of great info already.
Yeah, I think that pretty much that kind of highlights the main areas that we use Accudemia. It has a ton of features that we continue to discover. I feel like I'm always finding new things like, oh, it has, this, and we've used the traffic analysis a lot to kind of
Yeah.
see when students are using, since we're
Oh,
a
that's
small
a great report.
university, yes, since we're a small university, we're not just a writing center. We help with math and science and nursing and all those different things. So being able to see when certain students are using our services for which classes, and it really helps with our tutor scheduling and things like that. I feel like so many hidden gems in academia that I haven't even discovered them all yet.
Well, we are here if you want to take a look and discover some of the newer stuff, but you guys are doing a great job already. We are so happy that you're enjoying your experience. And then I hope that this presentation today has also been helpful for anyone who's watching this in the future. And thank you again so much, Michelle. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you.